It is no small matter, wrote W.B. Wildman, an assistant master of Sherborne in May 1900, that now, for well-nigh 12 centuries, a period longer than the realm itself, the work of education has gone on here. Sherborne School can look back on more than 1,000 years of history. The next 1,000 years await, and with them the challenge of carrying forward Sherborne's traditions and standards of excellence into the next millennium. No school is ever finished, constantly changing, adding, responding to needs. Since Sherborne was refounded by Edward VI in 1550, more than 35 major building works and extensions have kept up the momentum, creating the facilities needed for more than 600 boys. Now, it is our turn. The end of the Michaelmas term is always special, a sense of purpose and anticipation mingled with the spiritual, the carol service. And the sporting, the first 15's rugby match against a tough touring side. Sherborne has grown into one of England's foremost public schools. Long known for its sporting achievements, it has developed a strong academic tradition, especially in the 50 years since 1946, when this early film captured a Sherborne just emerging from the period of the war. Sherborne averages the best results of any boys' school in the west of England. More than 90% of Sherbornians go on to university, a tribute to excellent teaching.
Now, let's get settled down. And I gave you something on the knights, do you recall? That's what we're going to deal with this morning. And you've been reading about that. Gareth?
Yes, how exactly did you qualify to become a knight?
Well, it's a matter of money, isn't it? It's a matter of finance. You had to have capital of a certain level. In fact, the level was 400,000 sesterces, and we first hear about that in connection with a law that was passed in 67 BC. Have you any idea how much 400,000 sesterces is?
What makes Sherborne special? The school exudes history. Boys may not appreciate this at the time, but it affects them. In his ears, the murmur of 1,000 years.
This book records the visit by King George VI in 1950 to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the founding of the school. This is the earliest printed book in the library, dated Venice 1493. This document fascinates me. It's a bookseller's bill of 1687, and many of the volumes are still here in the library.
There is an essential integrity and decency to be learned at Sherborne, says the new school prospectus. This is reflected in the high calibre of boys who leave the school, balanced, confident, overwhelmingly normal boys, with a tolerance and decency that is their most important legacy. Good manners are taken as a matter of course. Responsibility is ingrained within the structure of the school, part of the progression towards manhood. Generations of Sherbornians have accepted the concept of duty. What saw them through was a strong feeling of self-worth, which came from faith in God and a good education. The books of remembrance movingly record the names and likenesses of those who gave their lives.
Lastly, let us remember before him those who rejoice with us, but upon another shore and in a greater light, that multitude which no man can number.
Sherborne is set in a thriving market town, and the boys are thus in daily contact with the world outside the school. 9 boarding houses, set around the town, give a sense of identity, a home from home. Many are historic buildings of considerable appeal. The standard of care is high, and the boarding facilities are subject to a major refurbishment programme.
Yes, you're going tomorrow morning, 5:30?
Sherborne exemplifies the increasingly international nature of education. Boys come from all over the world, made welcome and well cared for.
Right. And what time's your flight?
11:15.
And it's direct to Moscow?
Yeah, Moscow.
So, Tom, I'll have to send on that work that Mr. Patterson was talking about at lunchtime.
Oh, so did any stuff coming from Mr. Rhodes? Because he said he'd be sending all us revision stuff through.
Through the house pigeon house?
Yeah,
the housemaster's pigeon house?
No, through that thingy.
Well, can you go down to the day room and see who's on pigeonholes?
All right, okay.
And make sure that they do an appearance of the house pigeonhole this afternoon, because they're quite likely to forget that.
Okay, I'll go check.
That'd be good, fine. How's it going in here?
The school's future depends on its ability to adapt itself to the needs of the 21st century.
Jerome is from Jamaica and he's painting in the Rastafarian style.
In the last 2 decades, art, science and technology have grown in importance in Sherborne, as they have in the outside world. Impressive results have been achieved, with the help of outstanding teachers, in facilities that have changed little since the 1950s.
This that you've got in this earlier print, those textures, those lines coming through here. Look at that beautiful delicacy you've got there. And we're missing some of that in some of this cruder line, but get a combination of the two and then it'll be fine. Now this is really interesting because, in fact, Andrew Moss is possibly one of our best students. But, you know, all of this schematic work here, all of it, is based on, well, it's based on that little piece of ivy, isn't it? But the ivy's here, isn't it, round here? Look at this. If you look at this, and you look at all these paintings here, and these installations, look at all this beautiful delicacy, and suddenly you know that it's just based on this. Look at this. This is amazing. See, look at that. And that's where it all starts, from a simple piece of natural form found on the edge of the building of the art school. Quite extraordinary, really. I think it's fabulous. Well done.
The vision of the Sherborne School appeal is to create the finest centre for sciences, technology and arts in the country by redeveloping Devitt Court at a cost of £3.5 million. This will include a rotunda lecture theatre with a permanent art gallery, which will become a social and academic centre for the school and the town. The rich cultural diversity of Sherborne is demonstrated by its varied musical activities. It has its own swing band, jazz band, 2 orchestras, chamber orchestra, brass ensemble, choirs and pop groups. The swing band always plays at the end of term lists, as the headmaster records the achievements of the last 3 months.
You might be interested to know that Sherborne Rugby Football this term has played 160 matches, won 92 and lost 66.
Great.
You have scored 636 tries and only 30 penalties.
That's the way. How'd it goes, guys? Get there, get there.
The 15 survived the loss of their captain with a minimum of fuss, and with 11 victories already to their name, and with the possibility of 1 more tomorrow, they are in position to match the 15 of 1986. On your behalf, I thank the expertise and dedication of your coaches and simply add, well played to you all.
And he knows that when he's tackled, you back row are there with the rest of the pack coming around after him. Let's go, okay. Come on, boys. Come on.
At Sherborne, rugby is key. Among the many sports and extracurricular activities, this is the one that unites the school. And however honourably Sherbornians play the game, winning still matters. The Upper has seen rugby football of some description played here for 130 years, and to old Sherbornians, the scene is little changed. The massed ranks of the school on the westbury side, the parents and staff in and around the pavilion, and in between, the boys in blue shirts giving their all. This is a special match. The last day of term lends its own excitement to the game, and the opposition is a talented touring side from Trinity Grammar School in Sydney. They score first, easily, and a heavy defeat seems imminent against a physically powerful side. Yet Sherborne's status as a noted rugby school has been founded on determination and an attractive style. Displaying both, the home team moves back into contention with slick interplay and strong running in the centre. That early score galvanises the 15 into creating a healthy lead at half-time, overcoming the greasy conditions and the superior weight of their opponents. The crowd, keen as ever, voice their approval. There is always a strong, supportive crowd, even though the days of compulsory viewing of the first 15 on a Saturday have long gone. Attacking rugby is much in evidence, as it has been for years past, with both teams playing in a positive, entertaining manner. Sherborne have a strong midfield and pace outside, with a competitive, if small, set of forwards. The home coach will be pleased with his side's performance in the first half, but there will still be words of caution and counsel during the interval.
Guys are unfit and slow around the pass. They're isolated. If you get there before them, you can just snap the ball up, we turn over, and then we build from there. They're so slow.
Now, some of you blokes are playing for a position next year, and I promise you, you haven't done yourself any favours at all today. Now, I want to see a vastly improved performance in the second half.
Exhortations complete, battle rejoins. As the morning sun reaches over Lenthe, illuminating the match, the beauty of the setting brings back memories of schoolboys who grew up at Sherborne. Future rugby stars have graced this pitch over the years, from H.T. Twynham, the school's first international in the late 1860s, John Tallant, a past president of the Rugby Football Union, to Nick Greenstock, earlier this decade, who now plays for England's A-team. Young lives have been shaped here and on the surrounding pitches. Jeremy Irons, one of the foremost actors of his generation, was once a gangly lock forward on this ground. Cecil Day-Lewis, later Poet Laureate, was a standoff half of no little ability. From one England international in G.M. Carey in the early years of this century to another in Mike Davis, the coach today, Sherbornians have been blessed with staff of dedication, talent and skill who have produced one successful 15 after another. The walls of the upper pavilion record the names of past teams, from 1868 to the present day, in an unbroken chain. Not even war was enough to halt play on the upper. So many memories are held by this field, but memories matter not to those playing today. As one distinguished former coach wrote, "The readiness is all." For the boys representing Sherborne in the last rugby match of their time at the school, the cause is all. Injuries are sustained by both sides, but nothing can dampen the spirits of the crowd or diminish the sense of occasion that playing on the upper confers. Sherborne are ultimately the victors in this contest by 26 points to 19. The season is finished, the record a good one. The acting captain embraces the captain of rugby, sidelined after half-term by a knee injury. There is satisfaction in a job well done for captain and coach.
Yeah, it was a very tough game at the end of our season. A lot of tired guys. Some of them are actually suffering from flu.
Yeah, well, it's typical Sherborne team to have 4 boys in there and for them to just to get into the system and just settle down so quickly and play like that, especially the scrum half as a Colt. Very, very pleased.
If rugby draws the school together, so does the Abbey. The carol service is a much-loved ritual that signals the end of term. To many old boys, the carol service is one of the memories that linger. Nostalgic, symbolic of all that is good about a Sherborne education. Not always fully understood or appreciated at the time, when your mind is focused on going home or how cold you are, the shortcomings of your report, or whether you have remembered to pack everything. Nonetheless, part of that golden vein of spiritual values which come from 1,000 years of history, reflected in a Christian education that is as relevant today as it has ever been.